What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, Joe with Kirabug for some Dragon Ball Super Talk. Episode 67 just officially wrapped up the Future Trunks, Zamasu, Goku Black arc. What's the proper definition for this arc? Would we just say the Zamasu arc?
I would say Zamasu arc because it's usually defined by the villain.
Yeah, Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, Cell Saga. Okay, yeah. So the Zamasu arc. And well, I gotta say that was definitely interesting. For starters, going back to what happened last week's episode was quite the doozy one. It was very
it's controversial too.
Very controversial because people either loved it or they hated it. And like, it's not one of those things where like, you know, some people loved it or some people hated it. It was literally like, everybody was split down to like whether they like absolutely loved it or hated it because of just basically what went down. Well, episode 67 officially wraps up what's going on, and I'm just a little bit confused. So, okay, so let's first address this. Zamasu's immortal. I feel like even though he had half of himself basically mortal, it made sense for Trunks to be able to cut into him after everybody got together and was able to defeat the merged Zamasu. But my problem is after he sliced them, like they kind of exploded, and then Zamasu was defeated. You would think if he's immortal, he would be able to just kind of like, I don't know, regenerate a part of his body or just be there like half of him, but like not necessarily destroy. Because if you're immortal, you have an invincible body, you don't die. If you guys remember, even though this is not canon, so this is like the only thing we can really refer to. Garlic Jr. was immortal and he was not able to get destroyed at all. You had to seal him and he ended up getting sealed in the dead zone. So in a situation like with Zamasu, when he got destroyed, he shouldn't actually been able to be destroyed. He should have just like stayed there, half of him there, or like not really get, you know, does that make sense? Like it's,
I have an argument with that. It's because he was such a powerful god himself and he destroyed like, you know, all his all of himself, I guess. Well, when he got destroyed, he chose not to come back as his body.
I guess that doesn't make sense.
I think that he was like, I'm done with this, I'm gonna merge with the universe and become my own law.
That's actually a really good point. That's probably the best explanation I can think about.
I think he chose to do that because he was like, this isn't working out. I'm fed up, I'm gonna destroy everything. And he merged with the universe to become a law. Like it was a universe ruled by Zamasu law. He became a part of the law of that universe.
Which is funny because he could have just done that in the first place. You know what, Zamasu, if you wanted to destroy humanity or mortals period, why don't you just like when you got the Dragon Balls wish for that?
I think he was just kind of like
sadistic?
Well, maybe, but more so just going along, like figuring things out along the way. I don't think he like necessarily hatched a master plan all at once. It was just even when Black was fighting, Black was like figuring out abilities that he didn't know he had, like being able to go Super Saiyan Rose, and then also he pull out the scythe and then like ripped like a hole in time or whatever the hell that rift was. He was figuring stuff on his own, so I guess it makes sense. A lot of it was on the fly.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good point. He basically, even though he was immortal, he chose to basically just, it's not that he got destroyed, he just chose to just absorb everything. He became literally the universe and he killed everything. I mean, they ended up saying that everybody on Earth was destroyed, and when they zoomed out, it showed that like, he basically took over everything. Now, the funny thing is Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks decided, you know what, we're still gonna fight him, I just wish we got a sense of being. And what does freaking Goku have in his, first of all, where are these pockets located? That's what I wanna know. Like,
I know, I don't see them.
He pulls out the Omni King button that he got many episodes ago, and let's be real now, with Dragon Ball, when they point something out early on in the arcs, that's obviously a huge hint of how it's going to unfold later. Big example was when in Resurrection F, huge example. Resurrection F, when Whis randomly reveals, oh, I can turn back time. It's like, well, that's obviously going to be used later. So when he pulled out, or when he got the Omni King button early on in the arc, it's like, oh, at some point, Omni King is going to be involved here, and he's going to probably be the reason why, I guess, it wraps up the arc. It's exactly what happened. But here's the twist, and this is also the part that was kind of confusing. There is a future Omni King. You would think that there's only one Omni King who exists in a place that doesn't have necessarily time. He can travel, you know, into the future, into the past. He controls everything. For some reason, there's an Omni King in the future timeline as well. Now, this is one of those parts.
And they don't know about each other.
And they don't know about each other.
That's interesting too.
This part is like one of those things that probably has like the fan base kind of confused. Like, am I supposed to like this? This doesn't make any sense. Yada 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 yada. Now, if you think about how it came out, it was a good ending, because what happened next is now when Omni King, first of all, Omni King is the one who cleaned up everything. He destroyed that universe. Like, I mean, that universe is already destroyed because Zamasu basically blew up everything. But then when Omni King showed up, it's like, oh yeah, can you handle him? He's annoying. Omni King blew up everything, and then everybody escaped back to the past. And Goku and I'm going back to the future. So grab Omni King, brought him to the present, and now Omni King in the present has a friend. Now, if you remember a while ago, he promised to bring him back a friend, and that friend turns out to be the Omni King. Because this whole time we are trying to figure out who is it going to be. Like, because this dude just kind of out of nowhere was like, yeah, I got a friend I'm gonna bring you, and we all were like just trying to figure out who it was. Is it going to be Monaka? Is it going to be someone else? Like, I don't know, like Goku, maybe Vegeta, maybe Trunks. It's freaking Omni King. Omni King, meet Omni King. Like, you guys are already powerful enough. Now there's two of you guys.
But it's the perfect friend for him, though.
It is. That's why I like that ending. I was a big fan of how it ended, because the thing is I knew Omni King was going to show up, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. Like, my theory was, when he pressed that button, the Omni King from the past is going to show up, kill Zamasu, and then we're going to go back to the future, and then it's like, or go back to the present, and then that's basically how the story ends. But the fact that, like, this was kind of something unexpected and different, it's like, oh, you know what? I can accept that. I can take that. And now it's kind of funny because, like, we get that hilarious interaction between both Omni Kings. Like, who are you? It's like, are you serious? Have you never looked in the mirror? Like, it's literally you, dude. So that happened. Also, we had a bomb that was dropped on us. Turns out the Great Priest, who is basically the watcher of the Omni King, is Whis' dad. Yes. Now, I know some of you guys have watched the fan sub version of this, or a different sub. And in that sub, it mentioned that he was his brother. It's not. It's actually his dad. Just want to kind of clarify that up. But it's also kind of confusing because apparently the way Whis' race, I guess, or the Whis assistant angels things exist, is they're angels. When a god of destruction is born, so is a Whis basically. And if Beerus dies, Whis disappears. If Beerus comes back, Whis comes back. That's kind of how it works. It's like a yin yang. Like they're there to control the god of destruction to make sure they don't, I guess, overdo it. It's like a check and balance system. Yeah. So how is he his dad? Like, you would think that Omni King creates these guys to kind of like follow the gods of destruction. Like, questions, man. Where's the answers? Had me a little bit confused.
It makes you wonder if the Omni King is kind of like, almost like in his own way, a god of destruction of the whole universe. Or like of all the universes, actually.
I mean, yeah, he technically is, but he isn't. Like, he's just, Omni King is just there to be like the last resort, I guess, watcher of everything. But the funny thing is if he was watching everything, why didn't he stop the killing of all the gods that happened in the future with Zamasu? Like, you would think that Omni King can see everything and do everything. Why wasn't he the one to destroy Zamasu in the first place? Because, like, it's like, dude, Omni King, like, I know you're playing with Goku and all, but there's a dude over there that's killing all the gods. You should probably take care of him. Like, that's
well, he clearly doesn't know everything that's going on at all times.
Yeah, and you can tell that just because of how he interacts with Goku when he shows up in the future, and then of course how the present one does as well. He's just kind of all over the place.
It's a lot to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
you can't blame the dude.
I can't. Yeah, I won't blame him. I mean, like I said, I was a big fan of the ending just due to the fact that it's like it was unexpected. Like, it was expected that's how it was going to end, but in a different way. And then, like, I like the interaction when you get both the Omni Kings together, and it was cute. I'm gonna say that.
It was cute.
Now here's the part where it gets very confusing and we get more time travel involved. So what ends up happening is the Trunks timeline that we're watching this entire time is completely gone, destroyed. Zamasu killed it completely, everything poof gone. He basically in a way succeeded. He succeeded with his plans to kill all mortals, which is kind of funny. And then of course Omni King killed him, and then that universe doesn't exist. Like, when they went back into the future, there was nothing there. It was just like a void of just emptiness. So what they ended up doing is like, well, you guys can go back to another timeline that makes sense, but there's another Mayan Trunks there, just so you know. And apparently, when Beerus killed Zamasu many episodes ago, that created another time ring and another timeline where basically it's the same situation. So Trunks and Maya end up living there, but with a twist. Because of how everything went down, and because technically Beerus was responsible for this timeline, Whis actually is going to travel into that timeline, tell future Beerus about, or go back in time in the future, and tell future Beerus, like, hey yo, just so you know, Zamasu's a dick, can you take care of him? And they're going to seal him in something. Here's a fun question now. What is Zamasu going to get sealed in? They didn't reveal what it was, but he said something better than a jar. And I want you guys to have fun with this. So in the comment section below, comment the most goofiest thing you could see Zamasu get sealed by. Like, for example, this bottle of water. Or maybe he'll get sealed in this 3DS, which would be kind of weird. I don't want a 3DS possessed by Zamasu. Or maybe in a Z-Sword, I don't know. Kind of have fun with this one. So comment down below, what is Zamasu going to get sealed by? Do you have any off top of the head?
An ice cream cone, and then Whis is gonna eat them.
Oh, you're not supposed to eat them.
Why?
Because, I don't know, it's weird.
But if he's in an ice cream cone,
an ice cream
he'll definitely eat them.
So let us know down below what he's going to get sealed in. And yeah, now the last thing I want to discuss, well, two things really. The last thing is we see Gohan pop up at the very end, and once again we see him training. I saw a lot of people tweeting at me like, oh, he's back in his ultimate form, or his potential leash form. All I saw was a sweaty Gohan. I mean, the ultimate potential form, or ultimate form, or mystic form, whatever your name preference is for that form of Gohan, it's just a Gohan. I mean, like, obviously he was just done training with Piccolo, and I'm sorry, you know what, Gohan's going to come back. Everybody has already accepted the fact that Gohan's dead and done, but the thing is this series was supposed to originally end a long time ago. Like they initially planned on just going through the Champa arc, but because of the success, now it's going to keep going further and further. Although that's not technically confirmed, but that's kind of how they planned it out. And because Dragon Ball Super blew up to the point where it's so good, or so big and popular, they're gonna keep going. And with that said, now there is room for Gohan to come back. Now call me a Gohan.
They hinted at the fact that of course he's training now.
Yeah, listen, call me a Gohan fanboy or whatever, but the way they're setting this up is we'll see Gohan at some point in the future, whether it is this next arc or the future arc, or even by the time we get to the tournament, he's going to be the 5th fighter. Gohan is going to come back, I promise you, and I want you to come back to this video in a couple months from now when it actually happens. I'm just going to go and call right now. Okay. Yeah. So let us know your thoughts down below, what you thought about the finale of the Zamasu arc. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Like I said, I know everyone loved the arc up until the last 2 episodes, but again, the way I see it is if you love an arc but hate the ending, do you truly like it? Does that make sense?
I loved the ending, personally.
I thought it was great. I mean, it was very enjoyable.
Both the past 2 episodes, probably more than any of the episodes.
I mean, it was fun and entertaining. That's what Dragon Ball is. Dragon Ball is just fun. I mean, yeah, there's stuff that you can't really explain, but it's an anime.
There's like, a lot of deeper stuff in there, too, that a lot of people don't really mention
it's not
or
about,
contemplate.
It's not about, like, oh, I hate this because Vegeta didn't get any shot. I mean, first of all, I want to point out something, the elephant in the room. There seems to be crappier art in this episode. Art, not animation, art. Just want to kind of toss it out there. There's a difference between art and animation. Animation is the movement, art is how you draw it. And I noticed that there was a bit less quality art in this episode. Now my theory is that because Shida, who's like one of the best, was hired to do the last episode, they probably want to cram everything into one while they got the best guy. That way, when part 2 happens, which will be this episode, they don't have to really worry about, you know, missing out. That's probably why they went so crazy for the last episode about packed a bunch in, and that's why I was kind of like not as good. I mean, a lot of people did point out that if episode 66 was 2 episodes, it'd be a lot better. But at the same time, would you guys really want to get an episode 66 where we get Shida who animates it, and then we have episode 67 that's animated by the guy who did the group that did this episode, which wasn't as good? Like, what would you rather want? Honestly, I'm okay getting episode 66, which is animated and done by Shida and his crew, over getting it like the first episode is good and the second one is bad, just because, you know, the budget and timing and schedules all over the place. So I think that's probably what happened. I think that's probably why they split that into 1 episode instead of 2. And honestly, it worked out for me because episode 67 or 66 was one of the best animated and art episodes I've seen in all of Super. And I'd rather get that than, you know, I guess I get it split into 2. But let me know your thoughts on that. So yeah. So next week we have a very, very fun episode where they're gonna collect the Dragon Balls, and then it's like who's going to get the wish. Beerus wants to wish, Bulma wants to wish, Goku wants to wish. Well, Goku wants to wish to bring back King Kai because he kind of owes him. But basically it's like a fun episode, and then for the next 2 or 3 episodes we're gonna get lighthearted stuff, just an FYI. And then we get the next major arc starting in the middle of December, so get ready for that. And that's going to be exciting if you've seen the spoilers. And by the way, if you haven't seen the spoilers, I will link it down below where I discuss that, so click that at your own discretion. But other than that, let us know your thoughts on episode 67, how you felt about the ending overall. Did you love it, did you hate it, what did you like, what did you not like? Comment down below, discuss, and that's going to be everything. So anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you lit that button. Hit that like button, or lit that like button. Hit that like button down below, let us know your thoughts, and we'll take it from there. Anyways, we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Kira Bug and Rhymestyle. We'll see you guys in the comment section below.
Bye.
Peace.